Alright everybody, how's it going? It is Monday, October 15th, 2018, and we have a bit of news today from around the NFL, so let's just get right into talking about that. And first we'll talk about the Buccaneers firing their defensive coordinator, Mike Smith, after a very rough start to the season. Here is a statement released by the coach. I have the utmost respect for Mike Smith as a man and as a football coach. These decisions are always difficult, but our priority here is to ensure that we do everything possible to help this team to succeed. As I have said in the past, these issues we have had as a team are never one person's fault. During good times as well as the bad, it is a collective effort between the coaches and players. We all understand that this is a result-based profession, and our results to this point have not met our standards. I want to thank Mike Smith for all the hard work and passion he has displayed here on a daily basis, and I wish him well moving forward. Mike Smith joined the team in 2016 when Cutter was elevated to the head coach, and he has given up 2,400-yard games in that span, leading over the likes of the Colts and the 49ers, who have just 16. That kind of shows to you how bad he really is at his job when he is ranking higher than perennial bottom dwellers like the Colts and 49ers, where the Buccaneers are actually almost a playoff team every year. So if you give them a good defense in 2016, 2017, and this year they're looking at a much better record, there is indication that that is why the Buccaneers are losing games. Consider the fact that through week 6, Smith's defense ranked 32nd in points per game, 32nd in passing yards given up per tilt, and 31st in yards allowed per game. And these numbers are respectively, he's giving up 34 points a game, pretty much 35 points actually. He's giving up about 357 passing yards per game and allowing about 398.8 yards per game, and they've only gotten about 9 sacks, but they have only allowed about 84.2 yards per game rushing, so that's the only good spot. And one of the biggest blemishes of the reasons why they're 2-3 and have lost 3 straight is they have given up over 400 yards in each of their 5 games this season. That is the results of how you get fired in the NFL, is you produce numbers like that. So we'll see how the interim head coach, who is, I believe they said, linebackers coach Mark Duffer, will take over as team interim DC until they find someone new to take the job. Or should Duffer perform, they will let him keep the job. But we can probably guarantee that this will not just end with the firing of Mike Smith. We'll probably see Doug Cotter lose his job too, should they lose their next 2 games and start the season at 2-5, because their next 2 games are against the Browns and the Bengals. So should this 3-game slide go into 5, expect to see the Buccaneers looking for a new head coach in just this season. Other news from around the league, we have the I'll just read what's on here, and then we'll call it a video. The Raiders are hilariously sinking a first-round pick for Amari Cooper. Though talented, he is not going to get you a first-round pick. Probably a third or a fourth round, and maybe if you're lucky, you can probably convince a team who needs a wide receiver for a fourth and a fifth round draft pick. Watch the Cowboys try to do something to grab Amari, because they are in desperate need of more receiving help now that they're starting to look more and more like a serious contender. They're going to want to fix that up. Steve Wilks thinks that if his team doesn't win on Thursday Night Football, the entire coaching staff could be flushed, and I have to agree. The Cardinals are an awful team, ranking almost dead last in every offensive category this year, and Josh Rosen actually has been is under pressure almost every other snap he gets the ball. So every time he drops back, he's put under pressure. They're at like 43.6% of snaps a quarterback has a pressure on him, so that's not good. Josh Allen is week to week with an elbow injury, so we'll see. He's always going to be on the injury report, so watch that going forward. I bet nobody's really playing him in fantasy anyway. Here's someone everyone probably wants in fantasy, is Devonta Freeman. He will miss week 7 with a foot injury, so keep that in mind when you set up your fantasy football this week. Let's see. Ravens guard Alex Lewis doing a lot better after leaving the game on a backboard on Sunday, so that's good. Perfect is not expected to suspend or fine. Yeah, they're going to find him. He's not expected to be suspended for his play on Sunday, even including the hit on Antonio Brown's head. The guy who threw beer at Tyreek Hill will no longer be allowed to come to Gillette Stadium. Like I said, Buccaneers fired their defensive coordinator. Tannehill will be day-to-day with a shoulder injury. Um, let's see, anything else? Sanders calls out. Emmanuel Sanders says the NFL is becoming soft. The Ravens D had 11 sacks. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm not really. I'm trying to see if there's any big news, and that's about all the big news for today. So I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap this up. Thank you so much for listening to this bit of breaking news from around the NFL. Again, Mike Smith has been fired from his job in the Tampa Bay, and then there's random ass news that's not really that significant, unless you're a Devonta Freeman fan or you have him in fantasy. He will be out for Week 7 more than likely. I wouldn't count on Tannehill being there either, so expect Brock Osweiler to be out there this week, and Josh Allen is also day to day with an elbow injury or week to week. So yeah, I would expect to see Cotter be fired too from the Buccaneers in the next couple weeks, especially since his team will probably lose to Cleveland and again to Cincinnati. I just don't. That's a bad football team anyway on defense. So we'll see how things go forward. Again, thank you so much for listening to this bit of breaking news. I hope you have a great day, and see you next time. I'm Rob. See you later.